Hi everybody, so today we are fitting this 22 kilowatt Sync EV charger, and we're fitting this to our unit. I'm going to take you through the install of it, the setup of it, and show you it actually in use as well. So we've unboxed it and we can see now the different components that we've got. So we've got this really nice back plate which doesn't have any connections in at all. So what we can do is we can take the head off it, if you like, that has all the electronics in, and actually just fit this without the risk of anything getting wet or damaged inside here, which I really like actually, because on some other chargers you've got to kind of deal with the cables dangling out of the base unit, and if it is a bit wet like it is today, the risk of that getting all wet. So that's really nice. We've then got this cable entry just here, which to supply this stuffing gland on, which we can install. And then we've got the back nut's already on it just there as well. We can use that to secure our cable coming in. And then what I really do like about this is we've got this, in this case, a 3-phase plug. So you can get a 7 kilowatt or a 22 kilowatt version of this. This one's a 22, so we've got the 3-phase plug on here. And what happens with this is within this area here, we can, it's because I've tightened that, there we go. That sits in, and then that little clip holds that in place, so you can bring your cables in and connect it within this actual base, your incoming cables, still without having to have this in place. So you can imagine if you've got 10 of these to fit on the outside of a building, you can have all 10 bases fitted, all of your cables terminated, and all these heads, if you like, still left in the boxes, ready to go when it's drier or when you need to actually put them in, which is really cool. So that's the first element of it. So let's say we've got all of that done. We've then got the actual head unit. So we've got here the big connection on here, so that'll just plug into our plug that we've terminated our cable into, and everything else is in here. We've got an RJ45 port there for the Ethernet connection if we want to hardwire it, but we can also connect this via Wi-Fi, and it's got a QR code on the back here which helps us set it all up. So there's no little card or anything that you might lose. You know that the charger ID is linked to this head itself because it's stuck on the actual charging port anyway. So that's really cool. So we're going to crack on and get this installed and yeah, show you the process. Okay, so what Dean prepared before today was he got this 5-core 6mm SWA in, basically because we had that knocking around, so he could use some EV Ultra or some high tough or whatever is suitable for the application. So that comes back into our main 3-phase board here, and then we've got our breaker just on there ready for the EV charger. So that's 3-phase. We're going to clip this cable down and through this hole here that Dean's drilled. So he's just rodding it through now, and he's drilled that through to the outside. You can see just here. So then our charger is going to cover that hole. That's where our cable's going to come through the stuffing gland and then terminate into our charger. We've glanded the arm rings on the inside of the building just so we've got less to do out here. So that's what Dean's going to crack on with, and yeah, we'll show you once it's all installed. Okay, so we have got the cable through the wall and into the base plate of this Sync EV 22 kilowatt charger. So with this, what we've done to waterproof it, because we've got this kind of corrugated external wall, which makes it a little bit tricky for finding fixing points and bringing the cable through. So what we've done is we've put a stuffing gland on the back of the charger, and we've cut a big hole in this corrugated sheet to allow that stuffing gland to go through the sheet and seal the charger and the cable all together. We've then heat shrinked it and brought it through that stuffing gland and into this, this base plate. So you can see this now, we've got the cables come through here, and we've stripped it back, and then we're into the mains plug that comes with the Sync EV charger. So that's all connected in and ready, and that's all terminated. So it's obviously all turned off at the minute, but I'm going to show you now how we plug the actual faceplate in and how this is kept solid. So I'm going to get that now and show you. Okay, so this is the front plate, or the actual gubbins, if you like, of the charger. As you see, it's got everything built in here, and so I'll take you through a few little points inside this first. So this is obviously the socket that we're going to plug onto our mains cable to power the full unit. But in here we've got some CT clamp connection points. We've got an Ethernet port here as well for hardwired internet, and then the rest of it is just the actual internals of the charger. So really good that we can have these two completely separated, so that we don't have to mess about with this dangling whilst trying to fit this charger to the wall. We can unplug it, put this back in the box, fit this base plate, and then go back round once we've tested all the AC cabling, and just plug these in and then set it all up by using this sticker on the top. So I'll show you now how we do this. So all we're going to do, a little bit fiddly, that just pushes in like that. The really interesting part of this is that pushes in to the base plate, and then there's a little clip which I just push along, and that then holds that in place. So it's got hold of that plug now, so that isn't going to go anywhere now. That's held there. So then once we've done that, obviously we can then just screw that back up, and that is then a finished article. We've got this little sticker on here which we're going to use to set up through Monta, but I'll show you that next once we've got all this pulled together and set up. So yeah, very nice. So the other good thing about this charger is that we don't need to have like a MATI pen fault protection device. It's all built within this charger here. So all we simply need is 40 amp connection out to this charger. We can then wire this straight in, and that's it. We don't need an earth rod, don't need a MATI box, we don't need any other variation of that. It's all done, so it makes it a nice, easy install. So yeah, just thought I'd mention that before I sealed it all back up. Okay, so I'm going to get the faceplate back on now, but whilst I'm doing this, I thought I'd just tell you about the different colours. So you get this one, which is like almost like a shotgun grey type. It's my favourite one. But they also do a white, a silver, a red, a really nice green, a black. Do loads of different colours. So you could have multicoloured ones, have a different colour for each one, or maybe some red ones for the manager sockets, and black for visitors, or just have them all to match the colour of your business. So for me, this one looks the best for what we use it for, but yeah, there's loads of different versions of it. So just got a screw underneath there just to hold the faceplate on, and after that it's ready to go. So we'll turn this on and get it set up. Okay, so we've got power on now, and we can see we've got this yellow light here, which means we've got power, but it's just not on the network yet. So I'm going to take you through now how to set up this charger using the BG app, and then over onto Monta, which is the main one that you'll be using day to day. So let's jump straight into that. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to open the BG EV charging app, which I've just done there. And then on here, this is looking at all the Bluetooth devices. So this has got Bluetooth built in. It's now putting that signal out there, and we can see the second one down is BS715T8382. If I've done that right, but that's basically the serial number of this charger. So if we click on that one, that will connect to this charger, and then this password here is the one that is on the back of this screen. Now, if you haven't lost the manual, like I have, then what you can do is you take a photograph of the password on the back of this, and then that'll let you in. So I've printed off a nice handy photo here of it. So I'm going to put in the password now. Okay, so press OK, and that has now logged me into this charger. So now we can just work down the questions. So charger server. So there's a couple of different ways you can do it. We're selecting Monta to use the Monter app. Charger mode. So this is effectively, do we want to activate the charge on the app, or do we want it to just plug in and charge? We're in an industrial estate here, so we don't want someone coming and just plugging in overnight. So we're going to do the app so that we have to verify it on the app before anything happens. Max charger current, so we can change the charging current there if you maybe want to limit it a little bit, but we're going for the full 32 amps. Indicator brightness, so this little bit here. So again, we're in an industrial estate, but if this is on a domestic property, then you might want to turn that all the way down. Let me see if that works. If I do 50%, might not do it. Yeah, I think I'll probably have to actually go into that and set that for it to then change that. But yeah, we'd leave it on 100% anyway. The next bit down here, load management settings, we've got dynamic load management. So with that, we can wire CT clamps into this if we want, and say we had 5 or 6 of these, we can say we've got 100 amps of spare capacity in this building. So you 4 chargers can have 100 amps maximum, and they will look at what's coming in, but then also make sure that each of them only, or collectively they only use 100 amps. So that's what we've got there. So we'll go next. So this is now showing us the voltage we've got here. So on L1, L2 and L3, which are about 240 volts, which is good. Press next. So this next bit here is what we're doing for the internet connection. So with this here, we've got Wi-Fi, LAN or 4G. So if we hardwired this, we could just select LAN and it will automatically find the network. 4G for the 4G SIM card, but we're doing Wi-Fi. So we've activated the Wi-Fi part, and then we're going to put this on the over renewable staff. And then we're going to put in the password. So that password's in, and then we press next. That will now submit all of those settings into the device, and then now what you can see here, it's doing a self check and connecting to the network. Successfully connected to the network. And there we go, charge point is all installed, it will now reboot. So you can see, well, it'll reboot and then it'll come up with a blue light just here. So a nice audible beep to show that it's rebooted. And then, all being well, it should come up with a blue light in a minute. He says, right, we'll give that, there we go. There we go. I knew it would happen. Never doubted it. Never doubted it. But then, so that's all set up now in the BG charging app. So that is on our network and everything. The next step is for us to get it onto Monta. Okay, so we've got it all configured on the BG app. So now we're going to do it onto Monta. You'll see this is going yellow, then blue, then yellow, then blue. So we're going to get it onto the Monta app, and then that'll sort all that out. So first thing you need to do, which I've already done, is just create a Monta account. So like any normal account that you would have on an app, just create an account with Monta, and then once you've done that, you can go to this bottom part here which says chargers, and you can add a charge point. So first thing it wants to do is tell you about the charge point, so we need to select the brand. So we're going to scroll down here to Sync EV. Where are you? Sync EV. So this is a wall charger 2 socket. That's fine. So then we're going to press that. So we're going to name this charger. So this one here, we've only got one, so I'm just going to call this Oval Renewables. But if you had multiples, you could have parking bay 1, parking bay 2, whatever you want really. And then that'll allow you to identify each charger. And then the location. So we are at 2 Harrier Court. Yep. There we are. Press continue, and then now it's saying, would you like to basically connect it with the Monta? So we're going to connect it, and then this is now going to ask me how we're going to connect it, which is going to do it on OCPP, and then we're going to put the serial number of the charger. So back my handy photo, but if you've got the manual, then this is a lot easier because they copy that, or just write it down if you have lost it or it gets water damaged or something. T382. There we go. That's in. So now we're going to go yes, pair the charge point. So now Monta is trying to connect to this charger. There we go, got the scrolling bar of doom, but it's going fairly quickly. There we go. So now that has successfully linked Monta to this charge point. So now we can see we've got over renewables, 2 Harrier caught. So we can go into there now and we can do loads of things. So we can set a price for how much we want to charge people for this per kilowatt hour that they take. We can schedule a charge. We can use the smart charge function where we can set what we want how much we want to deliver, and then this is now ready to use. So we can slide to start if we had the car plugged in. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to plug the car in and then give it a test drive. Right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to actually get this car plugged in and start the charging through the Monta app. So I'm going to plug my little single phase charging lead in, like that. So now that's in, I'm going to go onto the Monta app, go down to chargers, go to our charger, slide to start the charge, charge delayed, charge now, yes. So now we've just got to wait for it to start the charge. So we've got a Nissan Leaf here. So with the Nissan Leafs, what we have the 3 little indicator lights on the top. So as soon as this starts the charge, we'll start to see those flash. So we're just going to wait for this to authorize the charge. As soon as it's done that, it will then start pumping power into the car. So this is a 22 kilowatt charger. However, that is just the maximum that it can do. So with this charging lead is actually only a single phase charging lead. So it's only going to charge at a maximum of 7 kilowatts. And the Nissan Leafs charge at around 6 anyway. So we should start to see hopefully 6 kilowatts go into this car as soon as it starts. So yeah, we'll check back in on this in a minute and make sure this is charging. Okay, so after that little delay, we've got this system up and running and it is charging now. So we can see on the app, we've got 0.8 kilowatt hours that has gone into the car already. We've got when the charge time was started, when it reckons it'll be done. And then also we've got the current charging speed. So we've got 6.4 kilowatts. And like I mentioned, that's the closest these Nissan Leafs get to 7 kilowatts. And then the accumulated cost as well of the charge. So yeah, that's all good. We can stop the charge from this. We can do everything from this Monta app. So we don't need to come out here and do an awful lot. But equally, we can release the charge from the car and stop the charge there. And it'll obviously stop it on the app and stop the charger from delivering any power. So you can see on our Nissan Leaf now, we've got I don't know how clearly you can see that on there, but you can see we've got the flashing blue light. So we know that is all definitely charging, which is good. And yeah, ready to leave that for the rest of today and get some power into the car. Okay, so that is the BG Sync EV charger all fitted, working, charging the car, which is the ultimate goal. But I thought we'd just run through some of the main points of this charger. So the main thing is it's actually a really nice looking charger. So you're not going to be horrified when this thing is on the front of your house, in front of your commercial building like this, or even on pedestals in a car park. The next thing is we can change the colour of the faceplate, so you can kind of customize that and make it look nice. The nitty gritty of it though, so we can get a 7 kilowatt or a 22 kilowatt, tethered or untethered, so they've got both options now. It's got the pen protection built in, so there's no external boxes or earth rods that need to be fitted. A nice simple charger that has a good back plate, that means we can put the charging point in a box somewhere and just work with the back plate without having to damage any of the expensive parts. We've also got the ability to link it to Monta, which allows for fleet management of these chargers. We can set a rate that we want to charge people to use them. We can create it into like a semi-public charger. We can do loads of stuff through the Monta app. There's a lot of chargers out there now, and this charger is actually genuinely, and I say that because we're doing this to showcase this charger, but genuinely a really good, solid, robust charger with a good setup procedure, a good back office side of things through Monta and through Sync EV and the Seco group sort of backing that up as well. And it's actually just a really robust system, and we'll definitely be looking to use these more. We've got a couple of projects that we're already looking to use these on, in a car park in Leeds, so hopefully we get those jobs won, and yeah, you'll be seeing a lot more of these from us. So thanks very much to BG and Sync EV for sending this out to us, for us to give it a go, and yeah, definitely check it out and definitely have a look at using these on your next project. Thanks very much, and we'll see you on the next video.